Hey guys, today we want to talk about hidden potential, how to discover it, how to develop it.
So go ahead and hit that share button and be intentional about somebody to watch with you.
So we've been having this ongoing conversation about shifting, developing, changing, whatever the nomenclature is you want to use. Basically, it's time to go from point A to point
To
B.
point B.
And in doing that, we talked about self-development. And the key to self-development, it begins where?
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness, self-awareness. And, self-awareness is basically just taking inventory of who you are,
Where you are
where you are, not what you were,
or where you want to be.
where you are. You got to start where you are. Recently, you had a conversation with a doctor who you were an advocate with someone, and the doctor said, "What do you want to do?" And they said, "I want to
Feel better. I'm ready to feel better.
I'm ready to feel better." And so he cautioned her on that kind of a goal, right?
Yes. And when we say we want to feel better, everybody wants to go back to their best version of themselves when you felt your best. And sometimes that's not possible to go
Right.
back.
No.
I don't know that it ever is.
Well, exactly, because in this life you are never afforded the opportunity to go back.
Right.
We can only go
Forward.
forward. And so that self-evaluation, that taking inventory of yourself and being honest about where you are, man, that is so key. It's so important to operate in that truth, because you can't do anything about past regrets or
No.
near misses or anything like that. But you can chart a course moving forward from where you are.
Absolutely.
And we'll just throw a little encouragement out there, because a lot of people don't like where they are. And because they don't like where they are, they'll live in a state of denial.
Yeah.
Or if the goal seems unobtainable, they just simply won't get
start.
started. So let me give you some encouragement. This may be where you're living. This truth is where you're living, but you don't have to die there.
Don't stay there.
You might live there now. You don't have to die there. We're moving on, right?
Moving on, yes.
And so, recently I've started on a path of development as well. We've discovered that we've maximized a lot of things that we do here at the Cathedral. And so I came to the determination that if we're going to be a better movement, we need a better leader. And so I have two choices. I can either hire a leader to replace me, or I can
Develop yourself.
and become the better leader. And so I decided option B.
Option B was better.
You guys are stuck like Chuck. I'm staying. So what I've done is I've taken any of my written commentary, any speeches, sermons, things like that, and I bring my outlines, and I actually share that with our staff team, some of our key leaders, and open myself up to criticism.
Yes.
What did I say too much of? Was I redundant?
What wasn't necessary?
What wasn't necessary to the main point? And also what you got from it, and what I should speak more on, or what I should elaborate more on. And I'm going to be 100% transparent. The first time we did that, I was a flood of emotions, because I'm looking at a group of people that I love and they love me.
Yes.
And I had two thoughts. I love you thank you for being honest, and I hate you. You also, and we're not friends anymore. And so
Right.
that's the way.
It's
It's
true.
not opening yourself to criticism is not easy,
From the people that love you. It's important.
and that's the key.
And you said something at one of the staff meetings here recently that I said bears repeating
Yeah.
to everybody.
Yeah, so blessed is the man who has critical friends, but ruined is the man who only has friendly critics.
That is so true.
Don't surround yourself with people that are just going to be that everything you do is the best. You need somebody that's going to push you,
Spur you on.
somebody that's going to correct you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of your catchphrase, spur me on.
Spur me on.
In our whole relationship, I've heard her use that phrase to be spurred on. You've gone through a series of developments too.
For sure.
So when was the first time that you were exposed to something that triggered you and said, "Hey, I need to become more"?
When I came into the church, committed my life as a young teenager to the Lord, I think 18 or 19, and I would watch women and men work the altar, and I would see them encounter people where they were and just be a blessing to them and just speak words of wisdom and knowledge to them. And I said, I want to be that person.
And so you're saying that when you say work the altar,
Yeah.
people are praying for one another.
yeah.
They're having that deep spiritual experience.
And I want to be clear, it wasn't just the altar. Some of the people I watched, they did it in their home, at Walmart. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And I'm like, I
Well,
want to be that person.
Well, and what we're discovering now is churches everywhere you go.
So
It's
I wanted
not
to
just in a
include that.
location. But basically, these people had put spiritual gifts on display.
Yes.
And they
Yep.
were able to speak powerfully into people's lives.
Yep.
They were able to listen and understand where they were.
Yes.
And they were able to be
One
effective
on one. Yep.
in
Absolutely.
that season of ministry,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And so when our lives crossed, and we began ministry together, I brought into my home and into my world someone who was an intercessor and a powerful prayer warrior, and the spiritual gifts were not only on display but were in full use, and I was blessed to have that in my corner. But I saw you develop again recently, and I think it's key to let people know that these stages of development, like there's no place we're going to hit and we're just going to stick there and say, okay, I've arrived.
This is it.
We will reinvent ourselves and we will continue to develop, continue to improve
Yes.
as long as life goes on. So recently there was another stage of development, and so how did that happen?
Had a couple in the last few years, all spurred on by my pastor, come and ask me to grow and develop, to become more of a blessing than to just one person, but to a body. And it wasn't easy. I want to stress to you, change, growth, development is not easy. Sometimes we will think that it's not God because it's hard.
You know, you just said it's not easy, it's hard. I really want to stress, we will only develop to the threshold of our pain.
That is so true.
That's it. Like wherever your pain tolerance, your pain threshold is, that's where you're going to stop.
Yeah.
And so if you want to develop beyond where you are now, we first have to address our pain tolerance.
Yes.
Just like I know that I can be a better communicator. And so I've had to tolerate the pain of some criticisms from people that love me and want me to move forward. They see the hidden potential in me.
Absolutely.
I've had to say, you know what, I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to receive that painful instruction so I can change and be better for everybody.
Absolutely.
And I applied that pressure in your life.
Yes.
And said, hey, you know, because here's the truth. You know what's better than having one Beth Carter on your team, in your life, on your ministry?
One intercessor, period.
You know,
period.
But I'm giving you the accolade.
Okay.
Now. What's better than having one Beth is having 10 or having 100 or having 1,000. And that's what it was. It said, hey, you have maximized your potential.
Where I was.
Here, that hidden potential, you've maximized it. Now let's develop it. What's next? How do you infect other people? And so we talked about the right people in your circle.
Yeah.
Don't just self-evaluate.
No.
But invite other people in for that evaluation. But you got to invite the right kind of people in.
Yes. They have to be people that love you.
Yeah. Not just people that love you, because sometimes people that love you can also
be honest,
they can be yes men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People that see who you can be.
Yeah.
People that, and this is your catchphrase, to be spurred on.
People that spur you on.
You know? And so you want those people in your life. And so I have submitted myself to those kind of people. These people who are over me in the Lord, spiritual fathers. I've submitted myself to them, not because I haven't arrived or haven't been successful, but because I want to develop and I want to have people speak into me that says, man, listen, where you are is great, but if you change this, or have you thought about that? People that just encourage open thought.
Yes.
And they challenge you to do more and to be more. So here's the thing. When's the last time you checked your circle?
Oh.
Because I think
that's an evaluation you must take.
If the only people that you have in your circle are friendly critics, oh, you're great.
What you're
wonderful.
doing is wonderful.
You know,
don't worry about the rest.
If they're not spurring you on, you might want to add some people in there.
Yeah.
And so in closing tonight, I want to say this. There are two kinds of people. This is your homework assignment.
Homework.
Evaluate your circle. Discover who you've let in. You know, is there a spiritual leader there? Are there people that are going to pray with you and support you? Are there people to help develop vision there?
Yeah.
And also, you got to have somebody that you're helping to develop too.
Yes.
The process of development is cyclical. as you're growing and developing, we're also bringing
people with you.
other people up, right?
Yes.
You know, it's what you're doing in life. If you want life to have more purpose, you have to involve more people in your circle. You want to maximize who you are. You want to check that circle. You know, who's my spiritual head? Who's the spiritual authority over my life? Who are the people in my circle who get me? Who are following me? And who am I helping to develop
To bring there too.
on the back end, right?
Yes.
And so hey, self-development begins with self-awareness. Step 2 of self-awareness is invite some other people in your circle. Make sure it's the right kind of people. You want to be surrounded with some critical friends.
Yes.
And not so many friendly critics. Hey guys, we
Until
love
next
you.
time.
We'll see you next time.